this is Melissa Brown, your Soul Love Coach, and I want to be the first person to welcome you into 2020. Not just a new year, but a whole new decade. And I know, and I hope you know as well, that greatness awaits you as you are moving into this new season. But there are also some things that you are going to have to do to release that greatness into the world. Because nothing just happens. Nothing happens. We are always being invited to be a part of our own miracle. So, with that in mind, I wanted to give you just a question to help you to begin to think deeper about what you need to do specifically as you begin to embrace this first day of the new year. And I heard this question, and when I heard it, I knew that I needed to share it with all of you. And it starts with you thinking about who it is that you are being called to be. And I want you to understand that your calling is always greater than where you are right now. God is calling you to grow and to expand, which means that you cannot stay where you are. So consider the acorn, and here's your question. Think about the acorn and listen to this question. What does the acorn have to give up to become the oak tree? The calling is to be a mighty oak, but who you are right now, you are just an acorn. So transformation has to happen for you to become. So I want you to take this question in, and I really want you to apply it to your own life and whoever it is that you feel like you are called to be over the next decade, over the next 10 years. I want to invite you to see yourself as that acorn who knows that you are being called to become a beautiful oak tree. So, what do you have to give up in your current way of being to get yourself there? I have personally been thinking about my answers to this question, and I'm going to share just a few of my answers with you. And what I'm hoping is that you will take some time to kind of sit back and reflect on today, or as we begin, like I said, the first few days of this new year, and answer this question for yourself. So, to become a powerful oak, first of all, the acorn has to release small thinking. It has to be willing to give up its hard shell. If you've ever seen an acorn is, those nuts that squirrels love to collect in the fall. And so it's a small nut, and it has that hard exterior. And so for it to become the oak tree that it is called to be, it's going to have to give up that hard exterior. The acorn is going to have to be willing to step out of her comfort zone. The acorn has to be willing to stop hiding and playing a little life, which also means that the acorn has to give up being invisible and be willing to be seen. Hello, are you willing to be seen? Are you willing to let yourself come out of hiding? Also, all shallowness has to go if it is going to grow the deep roots that an oak tree requires. If the acorn is going to become the mighty oak, you know that an oak tree has roots that go way down deep into the ground, which means that an acorn has to give up being shallow. It has to give up operating at a lower level and has to be willing to go deeper so that it can become the tree, the mighty oak tree that is firm and can withstand storms and be everything that an oak tree is. And so, most importantly, this one I really love, and these are just a few of my answers. The acorn has to be willing to grow. For the acorn to become this oak tree, it has to be willing to grow. You got to be open to expansion, and you have to be available to become something that you are not right now. And so I just want you to be thinking about, are you willing to literally allow yourself to go through a major life transformation? Are you willing to step outside of yourself and who you have been so that you can graciously become? And so I want you to think about your own life and your own personal question, which really is, what exactly do you have to do to become a greater version of you? You will have to transform because your life and who you are called to be, it demands it. 2020 is going to put a demand on you, and you have to have the courage to become, not to think, not to contemplate, not to write about it. Hello, all my people who love to sit and analyze and think long and wrong. This is your season to be revealed. And just like an oak tree, when an oak tree comes into bloom, you can't hide it. It is such a large display in nature, you could not hide it even if you tried. And so, what I am really hoping for you as we move into this new year, into a new decade, new season, is I hope that you are ready for that level of unveiling, that kind of exposure, that kind of expansion, because, honey, that is what's coming for you. But you must be willing, you got to be willing to become. How deep and how high you go will depend on how much you are willing to grow. Let me say that again. How deep and how high you are willing to go will depend on how much you are willing to actually grow. It's up to you. And let me let you in on a secret. It always has been up to you. And so I want you to take that in. I want you to sit with this message that I'm sending you on this first day of the year and let God tell you what needs to be transformed within you. And I want you to be willing to surrender to whatever that process looks like in your life. So that's my word for you. That's some soul work to help you start the beginning of a new year. So in the midst of all of your New Year's Day traditions, take some time out for you to really sit and give some thought, some intentionality, to be mindful of your own becoming and who God is calling you to be and what exactly you'd have to give up to become that. So much love to you. Wishing you a beautiful, prosperous, and happy new year. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.